Viewers, we're discussing about what's happening in the state of Bihar. Times Now is getting you the Vote Vibe survey, which gives you the verdict before the mandate. Will the anti-incumbency factor hurt the Nitish government? How will the NDA and the India Bloc fare in the upcoming election? Over the next half hour, we will reveal what's on people's minds and what are the issues which will matter the most. The data we will bring you will be based on a survey that has been conducted by Vote Vibe. Let's also take a look at what we're talking about in terms of what really are the big questions. This is, of course, the methodology that has been used for this survey. But moving on to what are the big questions. The first important question being asked is the level of pro or anti-incumbency in Bihar. Now, very important over here is that the strong anti-incumbency factor is at 48.5%. The neutral factor is 22.5%. Strong pro-incumbency is at 18% and can't say is at 10%. So the biggest segment among this, close to 50%, is a strong anti-incumbency factor. Let's go across to the next aspect of this. In fact, the next question is that will you vote for the incumbent MLA again? A 54.9% result saying no, yes say 29.7%, can't say 15.5%. Not unlike what we've seen in several other states in the past, but changing the incumbents. Could that really have an impact as far as this particular aspect is concerned? Let me quickly introduce our panel. Joining us with us is, of course, Amitabh Tiwari, founder of Vote Vibe. We have Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. With us is Parimal Kumar, spokesperson of the JDU. Karan Verma, author, is with us. Ashwini Kumar Mishra, of course, continues. And Dr. Shyam Kumar, spokesperson of RJD, also joins us on the show. But let me take this question first to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, a huge amount of anti-incumbency and a large number of people saying that they are not going to vote for the current incumbent MLA. Is this bad news for the BJP-JDU alliance? Is the first question that comes to mind. Sanju Verma.
You know, without beating around the bush, I'm going to make one very important point. I'm not rubbishing your survey, but I remember nobody gave BJP even 1/10 a chance and said Bhupesh Baghel will come back as the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, and lo and behold, the BJP swept. It was a tsunami in Chhattisgarh with BJP winning 54 seats. So with no offense to your survey, the other point that I want to make is...
Not a survey, just to clarify, it's Vote Vibe survey. Amitabh Tiwari is the one who's conducted the survey and he's on the panel. If you have any questions, he's here to answer them. Yeah.
Okay, let me finish. Okay, I've done many shows with Amitabh Tiwari on this and I've told him humbly I agree to disagree. But the other limited point that I want to make is this. People may not be willing to vote for the incumbent MLA, but what has the Gujarat 2022 assembly election taught us, especially the BJP journalists and the opposition? The Modi government takes feedback from the ground. Vijay Rupani ki puri jo cabinet thi, we changed almost the entire cabinet 9 months ahead of Gujarat assembly elections, and people said, you know, the BJP has shot itself on the foot. And we won Gujarat with a thumping majority of 156 seats. You know, my limited point is this. The Congress is good at garnering vote share. Like we saw in Uttarakhand, the vote share difference between BJP and the Congress in the 2022 assembly elections was barely 7%. But the BJP won 44 seats. The Congress was reduced to 19 seats.
Okay.
So, which brings me back to my final point. The BJP has the ability to translate vote share into winnable votes.
Okay.
The Congress has lost the art of doing that.
Okay. Amitabh Tiwari, respond to that. Is it possible that the survey has missed this? Because the BJP does say this, and in the past they have actually got these figures also to prove that even with a comparatively competitive vote share, they have managed to convert that into more seats, and we've seen that in several elections in the past. So is it possible that these kind of numbers are not really reflective of the real sense or the pulse on ground? Amitabh?
See, first of all, the survey is not making any prediction on vote share or seat share, correct? This is a sentiment analysis survey. So the first question is whether there is anti-incumbency or not. Of course, it's very natural to have anti-incumbency against a 20-year-old, almost 20-year-old chief minister and a government. Now, of course, is anti-incumbency enough for opposition to win? Again, the answer is no. Because you need to tap the anti-incumbency, you need to exploit the anti-incumbency, you need to ensure that the anti-incumbency vote is not split correct, which currently is the case, as we will see in further questions, that the anti-incumbency vote is getting split largely between Mahagathbandhan and also a new entrant, which is Jan Swaraj, correct. And on the point of anger against MLAs, it's a very natural phenomenon. We've seen across surveys that there is local anti-incumbency against MLAs, and this applies to RJD, BJP, JDU, CPIML, all MLAs, correct. And it is a very well tried and tested tactic, not only by BJP but by other parties.
And there is a way for parties to overcome this. They very often change the incumbent MLA and give a ticket to a fresher, younger face, which to some extent blunts that. We've seen several political parties implement that strategy in different states. Some have been successful, some have not been so successful. But let me take this question across to Parimal Kumar. Parimal Kumar, 20 years in power is something that is, of course, going to be a huge albatross around the neck for Nitish Kumar. If you go by this particular opinion poll, maybe that is going to be a big factor in this election, suggests the survey. Your analysis, Parimal Kumar.
Actually, our CM Nitish Kumar is most time-tested Chief Minister of Bihar. Actually, since last 20 years, every work of his is dedicated for the development of Bihar, for the honor of Biharis, and particularly for every section of the society. You know that our leader is the global example of women's empowerment. Okay, the approach and vision of Chief Minister ensured the growth of Bihar in such an extent that prior to 2005, during Jangal Raj,
Mr. Parimal Kumar, very respectfully, sir, why is there so much migration happening from Bihar if there is such a huge amount of development?
Pardon?
Why is there so much palayan migration from Bihar if there is such a lot of development happening there in the last 20 years?
No. Actually, why you are saying you are media person? You are media person. You should know. Actually, palayan. What is the meaning of palayan? You know. Actually, if the people leave the place due to political and religious factors.
Sir, we all know the definition of migration and palayan. Tell us why it's happening.
Palayan held during no. Palayan held during the Congress period, and it was aggravated during
Congress created it.
When kidnapping and ransom became the industry of Bihar. Okay, Congress was responsible.
Sir, 20 years you could have stopped it.
RJD was responsible.
20 years is a significant time to stop it, sir.
No. Certainly, particularly, actually in Bihar right now, the skilled people used to go outside. Actually, because our Chief Minister established several education institutions. In every district, we have engineering college. The fee structure is only 10 rupees per month. Okay, for polytechnic, 5 rupees per month.
Sir, the draft economy is a significant chunk of Bihar's economy. I think you would know the percentages better than me. But, you know, development, is it really going to be a factor on ground? Before I get in a quick response, I want Ashwini Kumar Mishra. It is the Congress and previous regime's impact that is being felt today. Ashwini Mishra, respond to him.
Madhav, I felt like laughing because I think our JDU spokesperson already started practicing what they will speak once they sit in opposition after losing the Bihar election. I think they've already started practicing it because, come on, they forget that they are there in the government from last
Ashwini Kumar Mishra, you also have a role to play because your party supported Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav from the 90s and early 2000s. So he has a point when he talks about law and order situation deteriorating.
Madhav, they are in government from last 20 years. If 20 years is not good enough for you to have a law order sorted, then probably you should not be in the government.
How many years were you in power for, sir?
Look at the.
How many years were you in power for?
We have done a lot of reforms in Bihar, Madhav. We have done the reform with respect to education. We have done a lot of reforms in Bihar, and let's not get into 20-30-year-old history. Let's talk about right now. Some few days back, it literally has become Somalia, where people are getting killed in broad daylight. So that is the.
Sir, how many central universities are there in Bihar?
Madhav,
since you've done so much in education, please tell us.
They have built. How many universities, how many colleges Modi ji in last 11 years and Bihar government last 20 years has built. We see all these universities, all
Sir,
these
there is Nalanda University. Beyond that, if you know any other, please tell us. Anyway, the point is there are serious questions of governance, and I want to bring up the next set of questions before I go across to the other panelists with us. Let's quickly come on to the next set of questions that we are looking at, and this is: which party do you trust for Bihar's development? This is the number 35.4% saying NDA, and 36.1% saying India. This is very interesting because there's just a 0.7% difference in terms of who they believe is actually better for development as far as Bihar is concerned. Jan Suraj, interestingly, taking 10% of the votes here, others at 5.3%, and can't say at 13.2%. Let me bring in Karan Verma on this. Karan Verma, all right, let's quickly also bring in the next question. Which party do you trust for Bihar's development is, of course, the question. Let's quickly bring in the next question as far as this is concerned. This is, which alliance do you trust for job creation? NDA at 32.3%, India at 39.6%. So much higher here at about 7.3%. Jan Suraj at 13.6%, others at 4%. Can't say at 10.5%. A third question also that we have in this series. Let's quickly bring that. All right, let's quickly take this across to the guests. Karan, very interesting. When it comes to governance, both the India and the NDA alliance have almost similar numbers. But when it comes to job creation, India alliance a lot higher than what the NDA has at least got in terms of support or responses from this survey. How do you explain that, Karan?
So, Madhav, just to give you perspective, you know, it often happens that when a government has been in power for 20 years, especially the first-time voters, they sometimes aren't that aware of what existed before that. And I think when the election season comes in, it becomes the imperative for the party in power to educate them about it. You know, I was hearing Ashwini ji and others wax eloquent. Let me just give you some perspective of where we were in those Jungle Raj days. Leave aside big things like universities and other things, Madhav. Out of the 1.6 crore rural households, not even 1 lakh, less than 1% had tap water connections. That was the situation they left Bihar in. 2 hours of electricity in the whole day in rural areas and 6 to 7 hours in urban areas. What do you expect? So that's what Nitish Kumar or the BJP, the NDA inherited. From there, today, to ensuring that all 1.6 crore rural households have tap water connections to 24-hour electricity supply, barring some cuts, I think we have to understand that they've come a long way. It's shocking if people think that the India alliance can offer better alternatives, or Lalu's family, most of which are either convicted or out on bail, they can offer an alternative. I think come election season, people are going to learn more. It's going to be a responsibility of the BJP to educate the first-time voters who aren't aware of the Jungle Raj days, at least know what really happened there.
Karan Verma, with due respect, Har Ghar Nal as well as far as electricity are concerned, these are central government schemes. Whether this has been implemented in the state or not is a big question. But yes, I'm going to take across your point of Jungle Raj.
It is the state government's cooperation that helps it.
Cooperation, sir. Every state government will implement the central government scheme. But in this particular case, there was no scheme from the center, perhaps before this. But let me bring in fact, the RJD spokesperson, Dr. Shyam Kumar. Dr. Shyam Kumar, time and again reference being made to the Jungle Raj days where governance was in complete shambles, and that was the kind of reflection of what was happening in Bihar. At least 2 other panelists have referred to that. Your response, Dr. Shyam Kumar.
Madhav, one thing is very clear. All my esteemed friends from opposition political parties of Janata Dal United and Bharatiya Janata Party, they have all, you will see the same story all together. So all the leaders who were in the 90s, 2005, and even today, you see the whole history. They have nothing to say and establish and produce concrete to the people. They speak such a narrative. They are not aware that what kind of the social change and transformation have taken place in Bihar during those days. That society, the systematic problems, including caste order, caste system, and the kind of the voice which have been empowered by our party president, Lalu Prasad Yadav Sahab, and he is called by the Masiha of the people. At
Mr.
bottom,
Shyam Kumar, I just have one doubt. While he was doing all this social change, why did Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav go to jail? Was it for social change that he went to jail?
What you want to discuss on this chapter, Madhav, so I tell you, if you want to discuss such kind of the debate, I welcome. I invite you to open the discussion on the topic. And
Sir,
I would like to discuss
governance.
What case you want
if he
to
has
discuss,
gone to jail on the charge of corruption, That would come very much under the issue of governance, or does it not? You called him a Siha, but he is also facing serious charges.
Okay. No, that's fine. But let me tell you, if you are talking, I understand your all direction, what you want to take the direction. Let me complete, then I will take and keep on one single debate on this topic. I request you all.
No, sir, why should we do a single debate? We will call you. If we do a debate, we will also call you. There is no problem. But we are discussing governance, and this very much comes within the subject of governance, whether you like it or not.
Madhav, he's called... No. If once the matter is going in that direction, that he is called the Samajik Nyay ka Masiha or Garibo ka Masiha, then you have a problem with that. Let me complete my point of view.
So has Garibi gone away from Bihar?
These people are talking jungle.
No, has he removed all poverty from Bihar? Please tell us.
No, not poverty. Nobody has all poverty. But
you are saying Garibo ke Masiha, तो बताइए.
No,
Garibo ke Masiha ने क्या किया? Poverty हटा दिया.
ना बता रहे ना आपने गरीब रथ का नाम सुना है क्या माधव जी? आपने गरीब रथ वंदे भारत
गरीबी नहीं हटती सर.
लोग टिकट जो उसमें
गरीब रथ इंट्रोड्यूस किया है. It may be a great scheme. I am not taking away from that, but that has not ended poverty. We are a very long way away from that, Mr. Shyam Kumar.
Let me complete. Madhav, give me 15 seconds.
Complete. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Please complete.
दीजिए, क्लियर हो जाएगी सारी बातें. बोलने देंगे? हाँ, सुन लीजिए, बहुत अच्छा. आप सुनिए इस बात को. When you are talking about that systematic order in Bihar, like poverty, unemployment, migration, even today, after 20 years of the double engine sarkar, in the 2022-23, when we conducted surveys, 94 lakh people came on the service. So where is that? You also discussed that dimension, and that we are demanding a special status. Where is that? They are talking about the development. So we have done social change, social democracy. What Ambedkar was talking, I tell you. Okay. So what change he has brought.
Okay, we have don't want to discuss that vision. Sanju Verma says RJD. We have brought in social change, and where is the special status, etc. that has been promised to the people of Bihar. Quick response, Sanju Verma, please.
Madhav, you immediately tell quick response. I've been listening to this man making reckless allegations. Give me a minute at least. My first point is this: you gave a very important data that the vote share difference between BJP and RJD or NDA and the India alliance is likely to be barely 0.7%. So first point, whenever the vote share difference is very narrow, it's wafer thin. BJP/NDA has an inherent advantage. The second point is this, that just last week, and no media house, barring Times Now and a couple of others, discussed the fact that in the IRCTC cash for jobs scam, the Supreme Court has refused to give a clean chit or any form of relief to Lalu Yadav or his daughter Misa Bharti or his son, CM aspirant Tejaswi Yadav. So the corruption charges have stuck. They are here to stay. But the third and very important point is this, that there were by-elections held to 4 very important seats in Bihar on 13th November 2024. Tararia, Ramgarh, Imamganj and Belaganj. And all the 4 seats in the by-elections of November 2024 for the state of Bihar were won by the NDA. In fact, Imamganj mein, the daughter-in-law of Jiten Ram Manjhi, who's a partner of the NDA, Deepa Manjhi, defeated.
Yes, Sanju Verma, the end of the day, one thing that this data definitely shows is that it's a close contest. Now, who's going to win, who's going to lose, we don't know. But if you look at the issues that are cropping up in this election, it certainly makes for an interesting fight is what we are saying. And let's quickly look at the most important question that we are asking now, or at least the survey reveals now. And this is, should BJP announce Nitish Kumar as NDA's chief ministerial face? Yes, for good work, say 24.2%. Yes, BJP has no other choice, say 23.1%. No, BJP should declare its own CM face, say 33.7%. Can't say 18.9%. Very interesting, because there is about a 47.3% result saying they should, and about 33.7% saying no, BJP should declare its own chief ministerial face. Very interesting statistic over there, or at least a revelation of this opinion poll. Let's also bring out the next question. Who do you want as chief minister of Bihar? Nitish Kumar at 25%, Tejaswi Yadav here at 32%. Prashant Kishore at 12%, Chirag Paswan at 9.4%, others 12.9%, can't say at 8.2%. Let me take this across to Mr. Parimal Kumar. Mr. Parimal Kumar, it appears that Mr. Tejaswi Yadav has overtaken Nitish Kumar in terms of popularity going purely by this opinion poll. Your comments?
Mr. Madhav, whether this is managed poll by you, I think that particularly in Bihar, there is under and surface current in favor of our Nitish Kumar, and you should know that Nitish Kumar is the main asset of NDA in Bihar. There is no any alternative, and as far as the question of Tejaswi Yadav is concerned, the people of Bihar know that in the DNA of RJD there is crime, there is corruption, there is rape, there is decade, there is kidnapping and collection of ransom. Why the people will give the chance to them when Bihar is consistently moving forward? And you know, Bihari's economy is among third fastest growing economy of India. So you should know, I have said that the government is going to introduce a bill known as Janda Karpuri Thakur Skill Development University 2025. The youth will be imparted a skillful training because we are actually, this will make a framework that is a structure which our leader, Mr. Nitish Kumar, announced that during 2025.
Mr. Parimal Kumar, what about polytechnics and ITIs?
The government will provide.
Why were they shut down?
Government will provide employment to 1 crore of the people. Yes.
Polytechnics and ITI.
Yes.
Were they shut down, and why?
I'm not. What you are saying?
Sir, ITI and polytechnic institutions, why were they shut down? Can you explain that to us?
Yes.
Are you in the mood to shut them down?
No. Actually, it will be supplemented because our goal for Bihar is very large. Actually, initially, right now, up to 2025, the government provided job and employment to more than 50 lakh of the people, of the youth. Now, government has decided to provide 1 crore particularly employment and the job to the Bihari youth. That's why they required a number of particularly education training institutions.
Okay.
We are different from that of the culture.
Sir, I can go on with this conversation because how many seats there are several aspects of this that we can discuss and debate. But since you raised question about the veracity of the survey, Amitabh, you want to quickly respond to Mr. Parimal Kumar, who says that this is a complete misreading of the situation on ground. Amitabh.
No, I think it is a completely fair representation of the mood of the people on the ground. Tejaswi Yadav has been leading in the CM ratings across surveys. It's largely because of the fact that there is a sticky MY vote bloc which supports him as CM face. That is almost equal to the population of Muslim Yadavs, if you see 32%. However, the NDA has a combined leadership today. It has 3 to 4 leaders, like first is of course Nitish, the tallest. Then you have Chirag, then you have Samrat, who is also getting 4% here, correct? Then you have Jitan Ram Manji, etc. So on a combined basis, you have the leadership of NDA ranking more than the combined leadership of Mahagathbandhan, because in Mahagathbandhan, there is largely one leader or centered around one leader, correct? So there are two ways to look at the to look at the data. In any data, any survey, there are positives and negatives for both opposition as well as the incumbent government. And the positive, perhaps Mr. Parimal Kumar did not foresee or has not understood that on a combined basis, NDA in a chief ministerial phase is more than Mahagathbandhan.
Okay, so that's an interesting explanation of the data that you've put out there. But let's take a quick look at some of the other data also that's coming out of the Vote Vibe survey. Let's take a look at this. How do you see the S.I.R exercise? Important question. Exercise to weed out illegal voters, say 34.5%. Routine exercise to update the voter list, say 15.8%. It was not required now, 27.3%. Bid to manipulate results, say 14.8%. Can't say 7.6%. So close to 50% see nothing wrong with it. And in fact, how do you assess the law and order under Nitish? Improved, say 28.7%. no change, say 28.5%, deteriorated, say 34.2%, can't say 8%. Let's quickly bring up the next set of data as well that we have. What's your top election issue? Unemployment 59.5, the massive issue there, unemployment. Price rise, say 11.1, law and order, say 12.2, electoral rolls just at 4.2%, corruption at 9.4%, public utilities just 2.3%, and liquor prohibition at 3.5%. So law and order, price rise, unemployment are clearly the issues dominating the mind of the voters in Bihar this time round. So very interesting set of data that we have. Let's quickly take it back to our members. In fact, let me go across to the RJD spokesperson, Dr. Shyam Kumar. Dr. Shyam Kumar, how do you look at this data? Of course, unemployment continues to be the biggest concern. Is that something, along with the youth appeal of Tejaswi, that you think will work for you? Because Tejaswi clearly, if you look at the sheer personalities, is somebody who's a bit ahead at this point of time, at least going by what this survey is projecting.
No, Madhav, one thing is very clear, I tell you. Tejaswi Yadav has become a rising star, not only for the Bihar politics, but at even national level, you see, so Tejaswi Yadav has a set different discourse for the particularly the young leaders. So we were quite aware that he is going to set everything, discourse and the politics in the Bihar. And we were also aware that people will throw, these, our esteemed parties of opposition party leaders, because what they have done in that almost 20 years in Bihar, people are fed up, I tell you. Because there is law and order situation, you are there.
But Dr. Shyam Kumar, S.I.R is not an issue. The issue on which you are fighting day after day, with the election commission, with the BJP, with the centre, that is not at all an issue people are concerned about. At least that's also what the survey shows.
No, we have multiple issues to fight, I tell you. We are fighting the people at bottom. The S.I.R, have you heard even single from JDU? Not a single word from these people who are suffering at bottom, at margin, because they are not voice for voiceless. We are the voice for voiceless. So they are going out of power very soon because they have done simply nothing. Law and order situation, S.I.R issue on the development, on the
over 95% of people have submitted the forms and are participating. Dr. Shyam Kumar, if there was such a big issue, would we have 95% plus voters, in fact, participating in this exercise?
Sir, people are filing, but there are multiple other related issues which we have gone to under Supreme Court. Supreme Court has taken note of it. 3 documents along with the other issues are there.
Correct.
If you hear the press note of the 16th July of Election Commission of India, so what it is talking.
They've actually denied it. Today, Supreme Court has received the reply, we are told, by the Election Commission. But Karan Verma, there are many issues. Don't go by the people's participation in the S.I.R exercise. There are serious issues as far as people and their franchise, exercising their franchise is concerned. Respond to the RJD spokesperson.
So, Madhav, I believe the RJD spokesperson lives in a parallel universe where he thinks Tejaswi is the rising star. And I trust the intellect of the Bihar people. I don't think they are going to come behind a man who recently said Shahabuddin Amar Rahe, the same Shahabuddin who is convicted of multiple crimes. So, God bless the law and order situation if someone who says Shahabuddin Amar Rahe comes to power. And as far as jobs are concerned, somebody who's named in the land for job scam, I don't think he can be seen as the messiah for employment in this state. So I absolutely trust the acumen and the genuinity of Bihar people. They cannot be vying for someone who has this notorious track record, whose brother asks a police constable, "Kya zara naach ke dikhao, nahi to tumhe suspend kar denge." I think people in Bihar value law and order. Yes, there have been certain hiccups in the law and order situation under Nitish Kumar also of late. But I think those are aberrations. They'll come together. But certainly, Tejaswi cannot be an alternative, which is where I think this survey has overestimated his popularity. And as the elections come closer, people are going to realize that this cannot be an alternative, come what may. Unemployment and price rise are always an issue in any election, no matter how good the government has performed. Despite record low retail inflation, you do any survey, people will always say, yes, there is a problem. People always want prices to be less. People always look out for better jobs. So these are always going to be sticking issues.
Bihar,
but
the context is very different here, Karan, simply because 59.5%, almost 60% of the people are saying this is the biggest issue. Unemployment, and perhaps that's reflected in the state's numbers where people continue to migrate outside year after year. I think those statistics are well recorded. But let me quickly bring in the Congress on this. Ashwini, is the entire fight over the S.I.R something that's completely misplaced? Because in terms of connecting with the people, it's very low in terms of the percentage of people who say that that's the big issue for them. Fundamental issues, unemployment, price rise, continue to remain, law and order continue to remain big issues for voters in Bihar, is what this survey suggests.
Madhav, first of all, I'm not sure where my friend Karan Verma is getting his feeds from, because he's talking about corruption, and there's a person named Samrat Chaudhary who said Nitish Kumar got 10,000 crores worth from liquor mafia, and now he's a deputy chief minister in Bihar government, and they are talking about corruption. So let's not talk about that. And I think I agree to one point what Karan said, that this data about the popularity is not correct. It should be 60 to 70% for the Tejaswi Yadav Ji rather than for 25% for Nitish Kumar. This data I also don't agree with that metrics. Now coming back to S.I.R, because the question you asked, understand, Madhav, even 1% people are having a fear of losing their voter rights. That is an important number, because it is okay if 1% people doesn't have a job, but it is not okay if even one single person who is a citizen of India is not allowed to vote, because that will be against our democracy, against our constitution, and that cannot be tolerated in any form of government.
Well, I agree with the second part that 1% also should not be allowed to vote, but why should anybody be unemployed? But larger question, Samrat Chaudhary and his comments on corruption of Nitish Kumar are well recorded, yet we know where he is today. Quickly respond to that, Sanju Verma.
Madhav, let me be very clear that 96.23% enumeration forms have been filled in, and the Election Commission has said as much in an affidavit to the Supreme Court. 44 lakh voters in Bihar were untraceable or either dead or were not found at their addresses. So I think the S.I.R exercise in hindsight was a brilliant one. It should have been undertaken long back, but der aaye durust aaye. The opposition can keep crying foul, but inko apni haar nazar aati hai, and I'll tell you why. The Yadav population in Bihar is 14.26%, but the Dalit, Mahadalit and tribal population is close to 30%.
Okay.
Tribals Modi ji ke saath hai, Mahadalit Modi ji ke saath hai.
All right. How will it break up as far as the communities are concerned? We haven't gone that deep into the analysis. We're only talking about opinions on various key issues on which political parties and leaders are currently campaigning. We will, of course, bring a more detailed survey when perhaps Amitabh and some of our other psephologists will break those down and perhaps bring us more granular constituency-wise data, and it will be good to have this debate once again and see whether things have changed from where they are currently. Sanju Verma, Parimal Kumar, as well as Karan Verma, Ashwini Kumar Mishra, Amitabh Tiwari and Dr. Shyam Kumar, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening.